Welcome to Trans Fabulous. My name is Sasha Sadek. My pronouns is she because I will never be her. Before I start, I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners of this land. I pay my respect to their elders past, present and emerging, always was and always will be Aboriginal land. I also would like to extend my respect to our trans elders past and present. Today, we have a very special guest, trans fabulous Drew Elizabeth Johnstone. Drew Elizabeth Johnstone is a multifaceted creative whose career spans stage, screen, fashion, and live performance. She began as a showgirl with Lay Girls before moving into film and distinguished career in wigs, hair, and makeup. Drew has worked with leading fashion magazines Vogue, Elle, Fashion Quarterly, Top Models, and major advertising agencies, and has styled celebrities including Janet Roach from The Real Housewives of Melbourne. In theatre, she has designed and managed wigs, hair, and makeup for major Australian and international production, with credits ranging from Priscilla and My Fair Lady to The Lord of the Rings. The musical and the Australian ballet, her artistry has supported icons like Dolly Parton, Patti LuPone, and Jennifer Holliday. Hi, Drew. How are you?
Hi, good.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being
pleasure.
on this show. Are you actually from Melbourne?
No, I'm from Auckland originally. I'm from New Zealand. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And when did you move to Australia? Did
I
you come
moved.
straight to
Well,
Melbourne?
in Sydney, I was kind of there 25 years, and then I've been here probably about 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought you'd been here for a lot longer.
Maybe not. No, I don't. Actually, that's a lie. I don't think it is that long. But anyway, yeah. I think I might have lied.
So, Drew, your career began as a showgirl with the legendary Lay Girls. What was that experience like, and how did it shape the rest of your creative journey?
So I started off with another show called Playgirls, and then working in clubs and things. But
What is Playgirls?
Playgirls, it was like the touring version of Lay Girls, but a lot bigger and stuff. So it won a lot of Mo Awards and things.
Where was that based?
It toured around Australia before Lay Girls did.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And but it was a dream because I didn't know that people like you and I existed until I saw Lay Girls as a kid.
Yeah.
So I just knew that in my head as a kid that I was a Lay Girl. Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of special to be asked to audition for it and get a role in it.
It was big. I mean, I came here early 2000, and I'm very fortunate to get to meet some of the Lay Girls. Some of them are already passed now, but I'm so fortunate to have met them and hear their stories. And I'm so inspired because back home in Singapore, we don't have anything like this, you know. In Thailand there is, but not in Singapore. But the Lay Girls here are stunning. The costume, the glam, the glee.
It was a lot of hard work though, because it was a 3-hour show, and those backpacks and headdresses are really heavy. They're not, and you are not allowed to make them look like they're heavy. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But it was fun because I was on tour with it too for you know what I mean. I was with them for like 8.5 years, and they put us back in the cross. But I did like the touring part. You know what I mean? It got a bit much having that many trans in buses and things, you know what I mean, for months on end and that. But it was a great experience, you know what I mean. I saw a lot of Australia because I was new to Australia. Yeah. So I saw a lot of Australia through touring with Lay Girls.
How many are there? I mean, like.
Well, it depended. Some seasons there'd be like 9 or 7, or then there was a smaller sort of touring thing if we were doing like golf clubs and stuff, you know what I mean? And the RSLs, the bigger ones like Rudy Hill and stuff, you know what I mean? Then they're definitely pulling more girls and things, you know what I mean? Because you need to fill up the stage and stuff as well. And it just looks better with more people and feathers too.
If anyone wants to see some of the clips, you can actually still find it on YouTube. Yeah. And also some on Facebook. You just have to search Lay Girls and you definitely find some of that. Can we definitely find some of your performances on YouTube? Okay, so you work across stage, screen, and fashion. How do you adapt your artistry depending on the industry?
Well, I've been doing it for a while, so you know what I mean. It's like the different mediums and stuff. You know, you learn how to work with them and adapt, stuff. You know what I mean. But I just think in all of those industries, you know, you either have an eye or you don't. There's a lot of people that fill up space and stuff. I'm not bagging anybody up, please don't take that the wrong way. But if you have an eye, they can spot you a mile away, you know what I mean? So doors open and stuff. But you just adapt.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And I think it's part of your growth in my field is trying all those different mediums and things and trying to own it.
When I was transitioning back in Singapore, I adapted fashion, and I did my degree in fashion in Singapore. That's what led me to Australia and did my internship. And the difference, the fashion here are a lot bigger in Melbourne, definitely, and it's like an
Singapore's got very fashion. I've taken a few musicals there.
Yes, you have.
And then, you know what I mean?
One of your friends, Vanessa,
they are quite fashionable
told me.
there. You know what I mean? Especially people with money.
Yes, of course. I agree, but the problem is we only have one season, so our fashion is mostly summer. Yeah, 100%. So it's just unfortunate until I came here and I get to layer up as well. So it's really nice to do styling where you can break that boundaries as well, instead of just a summer dress in Singapore. So that was really nice. It was a different experience for me, styling here.
Getting from the hotel to the theatre, I would go through the shopping malls and the aircon. It's so hot, isn't it?
It's really hot, isn't it?
Muggy, and it's not very good on blonde hair.
Yeah, I was blonde too at that time, and it's just my hair frizzy. What do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy more fashion, or do you more like theatre?
I think my days in fashion, you know what I mean, that was when I was young and inspiring and hungry, you know what I mean? And I really enjoyed it. That was my sort of route coming into, you know what I mean? But no, I enjoyed it because, it was a time where there were supermodels and things like that.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? Everything was, and people, if you were good as a hair and makeup artist, you got treated like a rock star.
Do you have any standout memory from working in high fashion?
I think working with a couple of supermodels, and they taught me a lot of, they taught me how to have a business head for one, but also how to be professional in that world, you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes you can take things for granted, do you know what I mean? Where they knew in that time, in that era, that they were very much a business and ran themselves as a business.
Was it easy at the time where you worked as a trans woman? Were you treated differently?
Things have changed more these days, you know what I mean? It wasn't really talked about or discussed. It still isn't, you know what I mean, in theatre and that. I mean, there's a lot of pronouns and things used, like, you know what I mean? But nobody ever talked to you really about being trans.
I agree with you with this because...
And it's a safe world, that world,
it is.
Feels like me.
Yeah. When I came here, when I was working in the fashion industry, nobody even asked about my gender.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel uncomfortable. I just assumed that they thought I was a cis woman. Yeah. But most of them actually know that I was trans woman. So that makes me feel safe and not very insecure as well, where people don't really care about your gender. They want to see more of your artistry and your work, and that's how they appreciate you for what you do, not for who you are. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, totally.
This is why.
But I do, you know, even if I bring something up about being trans and that, I'm like, Drew, I don't look at you like that. You know what I mean? You've just always been Drew, and don't look at you being trans and stuff, which is nice.
Nice,
and it is safe.
It is safe. They just see me as Sasha, and that's it. They don't see me as Sasha as the trans, unless the topic come out to talk about something personal, how I transition and everything, then it will be a conversation.
Oh no, totally. I would get upset. Do you know what I mean? Because I think in that industry, I would far rather you see my worth and my work than totally. What I am, or you know what I mean, or what somebody else's sexuality or stuff. I think that's their own business.
You collaborated with an incredible list of icons from Dolly Parton to Patti LuPone. LuPone? Yeah.
LuPone.
Yeah. Which collaboration challenged or inspired you the most, and why?
I was on a plane to Sydney and I got a phone call because the woman who was Dolly's normal hairstylist and that had injured herself in New Zealand because they'd done that. So they asked me if I could go in and do her wigs and things for the Australian thing, and she was absolutely adorable. She's like Kylie Small and lovely and that, but Patti LuPone, you know what I mean, she's a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
And she was amazing because these stars and things, they are never ever rude or anything to the hair and makeup artist because you could make them look bad. You know what I mean? Not that you ever would, because that's your work. Yeah. But they're always very kind and stuff. And Patti was kind, but she's a character, absolute character, but fun, a lot of fun.
And how did you? I mean, like you usually you need to learn how to do their hair first, isn't it? So how did you manage to, like, you were asked to do it at the last minute, and how would you know that you can do her hair?
She has the most amazing tour case you've ever seen in your life. That's just dedicated to her wigs. It's velvet encrusted, and it, you know what I mean, everything kind of comes out, even on the doors and things like that. And the things that you wash and get ready, they go from the bottom, and it all kind of moves up. And then when you, because she stays on site, she's got a bus that she tours around the world and that, which is quite beautiful. But so then you take like four, six wigs out in a little carry case and that, and she does herself up and gets herself her prep and everything ready, and then, you know what I mean, and pop it on the bus before she comes inside. But she's quite amazing, because even with her wardrobe, she has like mannequins around her room and that, and she plays, I think it's about 26 something instruments, so she has them around the outside too. So before she does meet and greets, she comes in and says, I'm going to wear that with that, and I'm going to play that with that and stuff, and that. But she has got, like when we did the first, she did the first sound check, I didn't believe it was her, because her voice is still so young. But a very kind, loving person. And just being part of their unit, their touring unit, very family orientated.
Did you get to travel around with her as well? Was she
no,
on tour?
so what I did was set it all up in Sydney.
Okay.
So I did the Sydney, shows and that, and then I just set, because she's got so many wigs and things like that, so I just set them all up for the rest of the Australian leg.
So that's good. So you don't have to actually style her wig or her hair.
Oh no, you have to style all the wigs. Totally, and wash them down and get them ready. That's what I mean. That the ones that are washed and then rollers and things are down the bottom, and then they slowly move up to things that she uses. But she's got a very distinctive look, and a way that she wants things done.
What is the most rewarding aspect of designing and running wigs, hair, and makeup departments for major productions?
I think because I set up shows from home. I've got a wig room and space there, so the cases come to me, and you know what I mean. It's a long process, because you can't go to one place to buy, say, 120 wigs. So you have to know and tap into things all around the world. You know what I mean, and wig makers all around the world to get that many things into your place and style them and that. And I don't know, once they're all done and you pop them in the box and then the truck pick them up and that, I think the most rewarding thing is to see it all on stage and see everybody's, like, from the lighting to the staging to the actors and things, and to see it all come together is quite special.
It's a lot of work styling a wig. I tried myself doing one.
Some things can take, you know what I mean, an hour or a couple of days, especially from when you first get them.
Of course, you first get them, it was too shiny and everything, so you have to...
You dull it down, you know what I mean, you pray for dust.
I try to style my own wigs. I love wearing wigs too. And it's a lot of work.
And then you have to teach
to you.
And then you have to teach, like, the locals and your head of department that you've hired how to style them. So that's kind of rewarding too, because I'm out the front when they're checking things in, you know what I mean, and taking notes. So it's kind of special seeing your work up there.
Theatre is clearly a big part of your career now. What draws you most of the to the magic of live performances compared to film or fashion?
I think with live performance, everything's in one place. Do you know what I mean? So you don't have to, with fashion and stuff, and you have to pick up your count and carry it around and set it up and then pull it down, and then, you know, you might do a few locations in one day, and some strange locations, like getting makeup kits across beaches and through forests, just because that photographer wants to go to a certain swamp. It's a lot.
I agree. I've done movie sets before, and my gosh, it's long hours too.
Yeah, it is very long hours.
Oh my God, we just have to sit around sometime and wait.
Good thing about film though is the catering.
Catering. Also, like doing, fashion shoot, like outdoor fashion shoot, like on set somewhere, that's also a lot of work as well. I prefer to be like just a place, a studio.
It's like great though if you're out on location though, I think, with fashion and stuff, and you manage to catch that golden hour. Do you know what I mean? And the lighting's just perfect for your makeup, for the clothes, and for the picture and that. So when you get that golden shot, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. You have had such diverse roles: stylist, performer, assistant, fashion editor, and even appearing in Levi's campaign. When was that? In what year?
Oh, well, I'm not going to give that up.
Okay, how have you balanced these creative identities throughout your career?
Well, I just think, you know what I mean, it's challenging. You know, there's different challenges, and it keeps you interested, because, you know what I mean, you have all different sort of avenues and mediums to go down, you know what I mean, because it's pretty... I've stopped touring. Like I toured with musicals for quite some time, and back to back to back. And you don't have a life because you're doing 8 shows a week plus understudy rehearsals and things like plus publicity and stuff. So it can be a lot.
Oh yeah,
But
you're still doing touring with theatre now. And
well, what I do is I go and move things from town to town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they move, or I'll go and fill in for something, or I'll go and do a little quality control. Or if they put new cast in, I have to be in there to make sure that they look how they're supposed to look. I'm the supervisor. On certain things, like a lot of Australian things that are new, then you're the designer. Some of the things, you know, I mean, that come in from overseas, you might not like it, but it is what it is. You have to do it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And you know, they do like bringing like from the UK and some Broadway shows down here because they think that Aussies are harder working and can make things look prettier.
What has been your proudest moment working behind the scene in the theatre or fashion?
I think fashion, getting my first cover, and in theatre, I think probably my first ever big show that I designed because it was 110 Wigs, which was Georgie Girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was pretty special. You know what I mean? That I was given that trust to do that and that artistic sort of, you know, license to own that, which was great.
Yeah.
It was very rewarding to see that kind of thing, that you've absolutely designed every single one of those wigs.
I did read here you did the Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Yes. Is that different with the Harry Potter, yeah?
Kind of same thing, but it's Harry Potter was 2 halves to begin with, and then they squashed it into one.
Yeah.
Where Lord of the Rings was the 3 trilogy things squashed into one. But it was a lot to, you know what I mean, and it was a lot to move.
Oh yeah.
Because the cast play all the instruments too on stage, so it's a long show though. 3 hours 10 minutes.
Yeah. So
they've got a lot of things to squash in there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the props all are amazing too, from what.
Oh, like you know how they had an I don't know what they call it, the Kingsmen or something or other, the guys on the knights on horses and things like that.
Yeah.
Those puppets were amazing.
Ah, right.
And there's like a big spider that comes out, you know, when Gollum. Do you know the trilogies at all?
Yeah.
So when that big spider comes out with Gollum and that was quite amazing, and having all the puppeteers operate that as it came out on stage.
You also work extensively with cabaret and drag performers. How important do you think drag and cabaret artistry is to the broader performing arts world?
I think that, you know, I mean, it's great that, you know, our people sort of get out there and that, but I just think that, you know, especially in these hard times of today, and people are working so many jobs and things like that, I think entertainment is really, really important. People need to go out and be entertained and get out of their life for a moment, you know what I mean?
I think it's hard for, you know, especially like drag performers or cabaret performers, they have 2 lives because they have to also work during the day, and then they also want to do part of their passion and their artistry. I've seen, I've mixed around with a lot of drag queens in my past, and I see how much they struggle doing prepping for the drag shows and then the shows at night, and then the next day they have to get up.
They're very lucky though these days because they have people like me and you know what I mean, and other people that do wigs and that. And back, do you know what I mean? Back when in Les Girls and stuff, you had to do all your own stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? Like you had dresses and things that repaired your costume and got you into these big things. But you know, like, you know, your wigs and things that went on and that you had to have an eye and be able to style them, especially out on the road. Yeah. Because you didn't have a person touring with you to do that.
Yeah. You don't have a stylist. You are your own stylist.
Yeah, totally. You know, and you can pick that though. So like girls that have been in those big shows, you can pick them a mile away compared to the other girls that haven't.
We've just passed the Diva Awards. Have you been to the Diva Awards?
Oh, no, many, because I lived in Sydney. Do you know what I mean? And,
I've been to Diva Awards once before. I can't remember. I think 2008.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an eye-opening for me because I've never been surrounded by a lot of drag queens.
It's growing again now, though.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
So
because it used to be
back.
Such a lavish event.
Yes.
Absolutely
it was
lavish.
telecast on TV too.
Yeah, and also they had great artists that used to come in.
That was such an amazing experience for me. Me and 2 other gay boys friends, we went there. We even got ourselves a limo.
Oh, gorgeous. You have to.
Yeah, it's
you have
so
to make
glamorous,
a night out of it.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would love to go there again one day. But that was the best experience. Like I said, Australia has showed me a lot more. I mean, like what I experienced in Singapore is totally different from the Western culture here.
And I think also there's a big difference between Melbourne drag
Yes.
and Sydney drag.
Yeah, I do.
Sydney drag's a lot more polished.
Yes,
Not saying that Melbourne,
correct.
you know what I
I
mean, but
agree.
they are a lot more polished.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like watching like an MTV award show, right?
Yeah.
It's
and there's so
polished.
much money at those awards. There's so much money in one room.
Yeah, I think it's all about money too as well. Because with the costume, with the wigs, the performances, it's just stellar. Yeah. That's why I see the contrast between Melbourne and Sydney. Yeah, you're so right on this.
Yeah.
So if the drag performance from Melbourne, if you're hearing this, I think there's a competition.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Truth,
right?
now they're going to hate me.
When you said that, I agree with you totally, because I see the contrast. And it's not about putting the performers here down. It's about telling them that Sydney is better. That's it. They can do better, right?
There are some gorgeous queens and great performers, don't get me wrong.
Yes, I mean, my first experience here with drag performance was the exchange.
Right.
Yeah. With Paris, with a few others, Tony.
The Greyhound, you know what I mean, shows were great too though.
Yeah, Greyhound as well, but exchange was my first experience.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my goodness.
When was that?
This is 2004.
Oh, okay.
This is on Commercial Road. Yeah, that was used to be exchange.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was like, not that, it's like almost like a pub, but the performances, my goodness,
they were amazing. I actually know the owner, or the old owner of it, and stuff. So he, I think he's living in Bali and out in the country too. But yeah. He had one of the first. I went and saw Tarzan, the musical, so I did the publicity and stuff for it. And we went and saw it the other week. And Millie was telling us that across the road was his first club. It was like the first gay club and stuff up above. I think there's a sex shop there and something else. And up on top of that was like the first gay club that he owned here.
As a Green Room Award panelist, what do you look for when judging excellence in commercial musical theatre?
I have to gaze upon everything because we have like a marking system and stuff. So I have to look at everything from sound to lighting to direction, choreography, and then also looking at like an ensemble as a whole, like the chorus, and then looking for like best supporting actors and leads and stuff. So you have to, and costuming sets and stuff. So you have to look at everything.
Is there any big project that coming up your way?
I've got the contract for the Disney Wondership that comes down here, and so it's due next month. And stuff, and I really love going on and doing that because it's just the morning till the gangplank sort of, and because they work they're called cosmetologists on the title on board, and they work like 15-hour days. So you go and give them a bit of relief and pull apart and rebuild the big things like Elsa and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of fun, and also once you've got everything in rollers, you can just go and sit up on the deck and pretend that you're on a cruise for a minute.
As trans fabulous as you are, and with all this art that you have, you know, with your skills, do you have are you mentoring someone, or do you have an understudy, the younger Drew?
I've got a few, because I hire the head of department, you know what I mean? I pick that person. And so I've had a lot of people underneath my wing over the years, you know what I mean? And you can see a mile away whether somebody's just there for the job or they're really into it, you know what I mean? So you pick out those people and you put time into them because then you know that they're going to help you out. If you've helped train somebody, that will help you out and look after you when they finally climb that ladder.
Because like, you know, growing as a like transitioning as a trans woman back in Singapore, I do have a mentor. So she mentored me. That's where I discovered my womanhood. Everybody needs to be mentored when you're a lot younger.
Well, I got Vanessa into theatre and also Millie, do you know what I mean? So but there are some other trans in Sydney and stuff like that, and Brisbane and that in the world, because it's a safe world.
A funny thing, like Vanessa was one of my first friends here when I came to Melbourne, and I was living with her for 2 weeks because at the time I was looking for an apartment, and I was living with her for 2 weeks. So we were roommates.
She's like my little sister. I've kind of grown up knowing her from as a teenager and stuff, you know. And every time she used to come down to Sydney, she used to camp out with me and, you know, on my couch and stuff.
Do you have any last words for, you know, the young ones who wants to be to be you, who wants to be in this industry, what advice would you give?
I think my advice would be is to absolutely go and do a good course. You know what I mean? And I just find sometimes today people are a little bit entitled, and I think being humble in the world when you're working with people that have years of experience and know their skill, if you're not doing anything, watch them, because that's the only way you learn. Definitely, you have to go and do courses.
Yeah, listening is the best, is the key to your knowledge and education. I always love listening to someone who are very skillful, who has life experiences. And this is what made me now, because I tend to listen and I tend to understand their struggles and how they create their own life. So it's very inspiring.
In the last couple of weeks, I've been at Melbourne Polytech teaching the students there in their full-time makeup course, drag wigs and stuff. So that was fun. We did I think it was last week, we did the assessment and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There were some cute looks.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were little sponges. They were loving the information and the input and that, and they did a really good job.
Thank you so much, Drew, for being on Trans Fabulous show, because I think you're an amazing person as well. So, So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.